Hey everyone, Gabriel from Gabriel's Hobby Studio here. Today we'll be breathing new life into a dollar store bear toy for RPGs as a creature or a companion. I have already based this miniature on a 2-inch round base, and I used cork to create a platform and some basic rubble shapes, and I combined that with cat litter for the pebbles that are surrounding the base. And stick around till the end of the video to see why I left that flat section on the base. This bear came atop one of the Planet Earth animal tubes that I found at my local dollar store. If you're new here, thank you for watching. We're glad to have you. If you enjoyed this content, please like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment letting me know what you think. The first thing that I'm going to do is to get all my base colors down. And this first one is Dark Oath Flesh, a contrast color from Games Workshop. I've recently started experimenting with these contrast colors, and I'm liking the effects that I get. The reason I decided to use contrast here is I wanted to apply thin layers and not clog up the detail on the model. I'm going to use this like a wash, but I'm hoping that I can get the color I want in 2, maybe 3 coats. The next thing that I'm going to tackle here is creating the foundation for the entire base. I'm using raw umber to paint the flat area in the middle and get into all of the crevices on the textures around the edge of the base. So after the raw umber has dried, I'm going in with burnt sienna, and I'm going to cover the middle of the base and the edges. I'm going to leave the rocks that are behind him alone and paint that a different color later. And I'm going to leave the 2 protrusions next to him alone. I have a different idea in mind for those. For all the small stone areas around the base, I mixed up a beige color. It was roughly 1 part brown, 2 parts yellow, and 2 or 3 parts white. I don't remember exactly how I mixed the color. At this stage, I'm going to make sure that I've got good coverage on these stones, but I'm not being too picky about it because that raw umber before will act as the shadows if I miss any areas. Before I finish up with this beige, I'm looking around for any solitary pebbles that I may have missed and painting those. I'm then going into an overbrush over the burnt sienna area. The last of my base colors is a variation on that beige. I mixed a little bit of black at a time in with that beige until it started to turn gray. Then I went in and painted the larger debris to the side and just below the front end of the bear. I then went through the beige areas and picked out certain stones that I wanted to be this grayish brown color. Looking over the model, all of the colors on the base itself, I'm happy with. I'm not happy with the bear itself. I am going to have to go through and do another coat, and I think I'm going to do that before I move on to any other steps. So the paint's still wet, but this is looking a lot better. After the paint dries, if there are any issues, I'll just need to go over it with a brown wash to solidify everything together. So after that paint dried, it didn't change too much, so I decided to proceed on to the dry brushing step. I mixed a new batch of beige, and I'm now dry brushing that over the bear. At first, I'm dry brushing everywhere, but then I start focusing more on the top of the bear, where light would be more likely to hit. After dry brushing, I'm going to do my first wash. I'm just going to put a bath of brown over the whole model, including the base, and there's no need to sit through the entire process, so we'll just glaze right through this. It's now time to dry brush the base. I'm just using a white that has been dulled down with a little bit of raw umber. We're quickly approaching the end of this model. I just need to go over and wash the base to tie that dry brush in, and I'm going to be bouncing back and forth between my black wash and my brown wash. And this is intentional so that way I can have brown in certain areas, black in others, and then mix the 2 where I want it to really be dark in the recesses. After that last wash has dried completely, I'm going to go in now and apply all the black areas. I'm putting black over the eyes, and then I'm going to rim the base. If there's interest, let me know in the comments below and I'll make a video about flocking. I do want to apologize, I didn't catch the final step on camera. My phone died while recording. I used the green paint and sawdust trick to make these green areas on the base. If you enjoyed this content and you want to see more, please like the video, subscribe, and make sure to hit that bell icon so you can be notified when I post new content. As always, have fun, be creative, and happy hobbying.